make sure everything's recording. Voila, poof, everything's happy. We can read comments from people, but I'm going to make them big because my eyeballs are not wonderful. And here we are on another Tuesday at the Days Inn, the back porch, pre-open mic for all of us young aspiring comedians. But you've been doing this a lot longer. How long have you been doing comedy?
I think it'll be 9 years this summer.
Goddamn.
I think.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
No wonder you're awesome.
Thank you. I'm trying.
You've had time to practice.
Yeah. Tony Burkett got me into it. It was cool because me and him, the way that we first met, we were down at the Handlebar, and we were tore up, and some of our mutual friends had gotten together, and they were leaving to go do something that we weren't going to partake in. We'll just leave it at that. And so we were just stuck outside the Handlebar by ourselves, hanging out, and people started walking up. So we started charging a cover. We're like, "Hey, $5 to get in," and blah blah blah. And then a girl showed up. She's like, "When'd you start working here?" I was like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" But yeah, we were friends after that. And then a little bit later, we were always making each other laugh. He's like, "You ought to do stand up." And I started writing down my jokes probably in my early 20s, and I had a notepad where I just wrote everything down because I always wanted one day to be a comic.
Yeah.
And we went to New Orleans because there wasn't any open mics or anything in Pensacola back then.
Yeah.
And we went to New Orleans, and Tony, they were asking, there was like 30 people there, 30, 40 people to sign up. And since Tony had experience, I didn't. He actually gave me his spot, and I got to, and I ate my dick. It was fucking terrible. So
I was just reminiscing about one of those times for me earlier.
yeah.
That's par for the course, though. Like everything that I've read and come to learn is the first couple of times are if you're funny, fine. That's not what it's about.
Yeah.
It's much more about getting up there and learning to be in that kind of space and that kind of zone. And I guess for me, trying to be funny on demand, like writing jokes. I can't imagine writing jokes 10 years ago. Like I struggle with it now, and I've got a lot of experience now to back it up, so it blows my mind. But it's always fun watching you perform. Your style is, man, it's not harsh, it's not aggressive, it's just very raw. I think that's what because it's honest in the kind of way that death is not esoteric, it's corpses. And I see you more as less the esoteric death guy and more the, now let's talk about corpses.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Is that accurate, or is that not?
Yes, yeah. I mean, I just always want to make people laugh, and a lot of my stuff, I will say, I had a lot more. A lot of my jokes came from. Let me start over. I'll say now it's getting harder to write, or I'm having to take a different approach to writing jokes, and I'll say I've slowed down a little bit just because whenever I started, I had all my stories from my 20s, and I was able to make them funny.
Yeah.
Because I was, single, out doing my thing, having a good time, but now having kids, getting settled down, it's like you have to take a different approach to it now. Like I have to, and I think it's making me better in the end because I actually have to put more work into it. Before it was just stories and put, punchlines in it and all that, and it would crush, or it would be funny because a lot of it was true. I mean, a lot of the stuff I say is true. I really enjoyed my 20s. It was fantastic. And, now that it's not like that anymore, I do have to put more work into it, I think, and kind of look at it differently. Yeah.
Man. So what were you doing in your 20s? What was so awesome about that? One of the things of this whole thing is we don't have to talk about anything in particular. So so what made 20s so awesome and easy to make punchlineable? Like as soon as you said that, I thought Bert Kreischer, like somebody that has this great epic story somewhere.
Yeah, just partying.
Yeah, just being out doing experiences.
Yeah, and again, I was, Jesus Christ, 50 pounds lighter back then. I had a full head of hair. It was dark. It wasn't gray. Just because I grew up a fat nerd in high school, and then I got out of high school and lost a lot of weight and started working out. So then I was like, I'm gonna get a bunch of pussy now, and just the nightlife and just having fun and getting into dumb fucking situations.
Yeah,
but it was fun. So
I can remember having some of those.
Well,
you said were you nerding out in high school, like? Oh
yeah, I was
video games or. What did you do in high school?
I will say the video games as far as I got. You got to remember I'm 36, so the farthest I got was like Super Nintendo, but that kind of phased out whenever I was 15, 16 or something.
Right,
like that.
I gave it up. My brother beat my ass in it.
Yeah, I was in the beta club. I was senior class president. Had glasses, and
I was you, big pimpin'.
Yeah, I was
senior class president.
Yeah, I was really smart. Actually went to college and shit, and didn't finish. But
even smarter than you look.
Yeah, it was just all about grades and everything. And then, once I got out of high school, I dropped weight and just started partying. Alcohol and etc. I won't go into too much detail because this is being recorded and put on the internet. But after that, I really enjoyed it. But there came a point whenever I was, 21, 22, whenever I was like, something clicked where I was like, well, shit, I don't want to be a piece of shit the rest of my life. I have to make my own money. I don't want to be a bum or anything like that. So then I got lucky with my job and just started focusing on my career. But, and then I found that balance between work and still being able to succeed. Mm-hmm. And also having a very, very good time. It was nice. And I lived with, a few of my roommates. They were in bands, so I was always around the band scene and everything. That was cool. So that was a good time, too, living with musicians. It was always a party. So
it's always a party at the band house.
Yeah.
That is always a good time. That brings back memories of my own. So, I guess, just to give you a measure, let's see where we're at. One time in high school, or overall in high school, without being too specific, I misbehaved so thoroughly and had such a reputation that they searched my shampoo bottles before we went on a band trip. So, for alcohol. They thought we were bringing booze. They didn't think we were smart enough to call people when we got there.
Yeah.
That's how bad people thought I was on the misbehaving scale.
Wow, but you were in band. See, I never went that far. I was never in band or anything like that, so I wasn't one of those kids. I was sort of in the middle.
Definitely one of those kids. I was a tuba player.
A tuba? I was just going to ask what you play. Oh, isn't that the most...
Yes.
Isn't that like the hardest thing to lug around? I mean...
It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. We're the only brass instrument that gets respect from the percussion players because of the crap we got to carry around.
Yeah.
But it was tons of fun because it was... less competition. It was easier. No, man, I enjoyed playing low brass, and that's what the band that I ended up in over at Davidson in Mobile. They needed tuba players, and I didn't have a whole lot of experience. I had been a trumpet player, but I stepped right in there. Loved it. That was kind of what I did in high school.
Is the saxophone the hardest thing to play? It just seems so much more complex with so many more levers on it.
I don't know. I've never played saxophone. I think it's easier. I would imagine it's easier in that like a tuba player or a trumpet player has 3 buttons, 4 or 5, depending on how exotic you get, but basically 3, and you got to do the rest with your lips, whereas on a saxophone you've got more buttons and less lip. But then again, I've never played a fucking saxophone, so I have no idea. I'm speculating as a brass player, and I'm making us look good if I can.
Did you know that the saxophone player, have you ever seen The Lost Boys?
Yes.
It's probably a long time ago. I watched it recently, and I learned this from one of my friends. The saxophone player on The Lost Boys, he's got a real big part, and he's all sexy. He's old up with his shirt off and everything. And my buddy was like, that's Tina Turner's saxophone player. So I went back, and because I love Tina Turner, she's fucking awesome. But she cannot dance for shit. Like, I always clown about her dance. I even do an impression. It's so funny. I learned her dance just to make fun of her. Excellent singer, though. Excellent singer. And poor girl's been through hell. But her saxophone player, so I went and I looked at her video, same fucking guy.
In Lost Boys.
Yes.
Just tearing it
up. The sexy sax player in Lost Boys is Tina Turner's saxophone player.
I wanted to be a saxophone player, but they told me I had too big of an overbite. And that I couldn't. And that I should be a trumpet player. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. So I did. And then I ended up...
I'm sorry, Compton.
Taking that with it. That's okay. That's okay. It kept me from playing football, which I enjoy railing against now. So I was definitely one of those kids in high school.
You liberal son of a bitch.
Like, you can't believe. Bachelor in arts, for sure, not sciences.
Keep all your judgment in your fanny pack there, do you?
As much as I can. That's actually what I studied in college was judgment, was judgment.
Well, I'll tell you, in this day and age, you got to worry about finding a fucking job. God, the pussification of America that we're fucking dealing with.
It's gotten pretty hairy. The participation trophies was when it just kind of came off the rails.
Yeah.
Or at least when I remember it coming off the rails. I don't know how has it manifested itself in your world.
I get tired of hearing comics. And, Amy Schumer, she's all right. I like her. She's got some funny stuff. I ain't going to sit there and clown on her or anything. She's a lot more fucking rich than I am. But, whenever she had to apologize, I think for that Mexican joke that she had about rape or something, she had to come out and apologize. It was like, it's just a fucking joke.
Yeah.
And that's what... Just whenever you have to see all these people apologize for stuff that, let alone even... in comedy it's wrong because it's a fucking joke. But other people, whenever they say fucked up shit, especially if it's in the privacy of their own house, again, was it an asshole thing to say? Yes. But whenever it's recorded in privacy and then somebody puts it out, it's like, come on, man.
Context.
How many of us, like, shouldn't you be allowed to say what you want to in your own fucking house? They need to recognize, like, they weren't directing it at anybody. They were just at home. Every motherfucker on the face of the earth has said something awful that they wouldn't want televised or put out there.
For sure.
And it'll ruin people's careers. People get fired from their jobs, especially with social media. People post something fucked up on social media, and then their job will fire them. It's like, they weren't at work.
Woke up and her life was ruined when she crossed the Atlantic. Do you remember that? She made some really racist tweet, or some tweet that came off as really racist, made an AIDS joke while she was on her way to Africa, and fell asleep on the plane, woke up, lost her job, millions of retweets, life ruined in shambles. Like, one tweet.
Yeah. And there's a part of you should be smart enough, unless you're a comic, like, and that's what you do is be offensive or make jokes for a living.
Yeah.
Don't fucking do it.
Don't tee that up.
Yeah. It's like you kind of asked for it, but at the end of the day, it's like she wasn't at work.
Was she that bad of a person?
And as wrong as it is, but how many companies have a very valuable employer that's able to go out there and get that sale, and take. And take the prospects out to a strip club, to a fancy dinner, and wine and dine them and smooze them and everything. Some of those guys are heartless pieces of shit. They're terrible people, but they're a valued member of that company because they just brought in the next big fucking client. They just landed that deal. You want that heartless son of a bitch sometimes to go out there and do the things that you're too scared to do.
Those people are valuable to those companies.
Yeah.
You're right.
Not saying that bitch was valuable. I don't know what the fuck she did, but...
I don't know whether or not she was, but yeah, her life was over when she got off that plane. It was done. Judgment had been passed.
She couldn't even enjoy her trip in Africa.
No. It was over. AIDS was the least of her worries.
There wasn't enough giraffes to bring her joy on that fucking zoo ride.
Yeah, she would have been better off. Yeah, pretty horrible. But that raises good questions of where is the line and is anything off limits? One of the reasons that I used the death reference earlier is because I'm working on a bit about death. Because when I got into this whole comedy thing, I kind of started with, well, what's impossible? It's impossible to make death funny. Let's try and do that. Let's climb that hill. So that was kind of my first premise. Like, let's mull that over and figure out what's funny about that. So that's why I make the death reference earlier. But I'm a firm believer that on some level there's nothing off limits. There may be bad timing, but there's nothing off limits.
As long as it's funny. It's not, if people laugh, if it's smart enough, it's never too soon.
That's interesting. I've never thought of that before. But that makes sense. Because from the right perspective, you're far enough away, or you're smart enough, or it's clever enough that it's indirect enough. That makes sense to me.
How many comments, like, as soon as you heard that Robin Williams died, I wrote like 3 jokes. I was like, oh, this is great. Again, that's terrible, but fuck it, it's right there for the taking. Anytime something terrible happens to somebody or they die, a lot of comics that I like, a lot of comics may not agree with me, but comics out there are already writing fucking jokes.
Yeah. But that is part of the in a way, that's one of the best ways a comic can honor another comic. Is how do you, if you write a good enough joke to immortalize that moment, that's a means of
I hope I get famous enough that people write terrible fucking jokes about me after I die. Seriously.
It'd be a great
then you remember it all,
milestone.
and fuck yeah, it's better than not being talked about at all.
Right. That's very true. Like, Sam Kinison comes to mind, somebody that had some not so great moments, but is definitely remembered for his better work. Even because he was so good at what he did.
You mean his first album?
Probably.
Again, tip the hat to Sam Kinison, but he peaked right then, and then the rest of it was shit. Especially after he tried to sober up. It was, in my opinion,
just got bad. But the legacy that he leaves is the one that people like myself who haven't really delved into it there's a little bit of veneer of okay on top of that.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't taste too bad. But you dig in there and it was, oh yeah. Pretty dark and nasty.
And it is great that he was a preacher before.
Wasn't he a preacher here in Pensacola?
I don't know about that.
Somewhere around here. And his dad was a preacher?
Yeah, his dad was a preacher, and he was a preacher, and then he just stopped doing it and became a comic. So
that's hilarious.
That's fucking awesome.
That is. He died, in a car wreck somewhere? It's like the unflattering version of the James Dean. I don't remember.
I think
guessing,
it was a car wreck.
I guess.
Yes.
It was something weird. Anyway, Sam Kinison. But that brings me back to what you were saying. Timing, and if it's smart enough, it's never too soon. I've never thought about it that way, but I keep rolling it around in my head. I can't think of a moment when I can agree with that.
If you make somebody laugh, it was worth it.
Heck yeah, man. Do you remember the first time you killed?
Yeah, but I mean, she was throwing me signals. She shouldn't have said no. That was it. I'm sorry. That was fucking hacky.
Sorry. That's okay. I don't know. I'm still learning. Like I'm so new to all of this.
I know the first time I ever came up with something that was off the cuff, and it's still in the joke today. It just popped in my mind. We were at the Ticket 2 on 9 Mile in Pine Forest.
Yeah.
It was like me and Tony and Matt Mosley was there and a couple other guys, I think Chris Fowler. And we were just doing a show, where there's no stage. We're just over in the corner with a mic. Mm-hmm. And I did a vasectomy joke. And that was back whenever, like, my vasectomy joke used to be like 4 or 5 minutes long. And then I finally kept trimming the fat. So finally it's a 45-second joke now. Mm-hmm. But I threw in a tag at the end. And now that's the killer part of it. Whenever I did that, we had a big enough crowd. Everybody just died. And it was great. I think that was the first time I really remember just really enjoying it.
Just nailing one.
Yeah.
That's great. That's really great. Yeah, I'm still working on a type 5, like getting trim. I think I've been doing a lot of trim and fat. Come up with toss something new out here and there, and have been trimming a whole lot of fat. So that type 5 is where I'm trying to get, and that rhythm and tempo is something that I'm not really struggling with, but it takes so much practice that I watch guys like you and Tony and just try and take notes and try and remember, even if I'm not recording everything, trying to remember where those beats are and how that fits with everything else that you've got going on. And that still blows me away that you can hit that many timings and have just the complexities of a joke. Going from, like you said, you took that joke down from all the way down to 45 seconds. How long did you say that took?
It was probably about 4 minutes, and then I just kept chopping it, and I noticed that the beginning of it, nobody would laugh. They were just sitting there and listening, and it was like a story that wasn't funny. You can tell a story, but you got to have a punchline at least every, fucking 15 seconds or something, Mm-hmm. There's got to be something in there that's making them laugh, and it wasn't making them laugh. So finally, I just found the part that made them laugh. Like, the end wasn't killing enough, and then once I cut it off and just left, like, the last 25% of it, it was a killer, and it was great. I was like, oh, well, fuck the rest of it.
How many times did you have to tell it to get it to that point?
Oh, God, I don't know. Enough. I have no idea.
Lots and lots.
Because I enjoyed the first part so much, I didn't want to let it go until finally I just had to make a decision. Like, hey, asshole, it's not fucking working. Stop doing it.
Right, don't do that.
They're not going to get your brilliance, man.
I'm so good at talking over people's heads, or just talking to left field when only right field's at home. That's my own little.
How long have you been doing stand-up?
Last summer, probably September would have been my first time up. So, however many months since then. It's February now.
Nice.
October, November, December, January. 5 months, almost half a year, which is fun. I enjoy it. But to totally change subjects, we were on Joey's show the other day, Quality Control, and we were talking about war is what we were supposed to be talking about, and then we got all kinds of in some other places. And I remember talking about bringing up the American Dream and a couple other things. But I was wondering if there was anything that you had afterthoughts on that whole thing. I remember you talking about war, like a bunch of us never been to war and talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like, who am I to talk about it? I've in mad respect for all the troops, all the veterans, everybody. They get out there, they fight. I ain't fucking doing it,
Oh, hell no.
And Luckily now I'm too old so I can say that, but hey, whenever I was younger I didn't. And I don't know, I think that there's a lot of fucked up shit that happened in America's culture and in other countries also. But back then, war, it was necessary to give us the luxury that we have now. And even if some people feel like they don't have luxury, go live in a there's several other countries out there that don't have it as good here. I mean, and it's I know America can certainly improve on a lot of things, and I get that, but now I do think a lot of war is certainly unnecessary. But at the end of the day, everybody's trying to see who's got the bigger dicks. I mean, it's inevitable. They're going to go to fucking war, so it's going to fucking happen.
It's craziness. But what else were you talking about that day? Because we had gotten on to something that was really good. Oh, yeah. We started talking about music and whether or not bands are obligated or expected, or how much of their old school greatest hits should they play at a concert.
Oh, yeah.
First, that's where we started that conversation.
Fucking Radiohead with their pompous fucking self. We're not going to play Creep. We're tired of that song, bro. It's like,
that's right.
Fuck you, Radiohead. I know that you're diehard Radiohead heads, like, they don't want to hear it either. Yeah, we're with you, man. Fuck that. But some jerk-off mainstream piece of shit like me, I'm going to go to hear fucking Creep. I'm going to be fucking mad if you don't fucking play it. I went and saw Manson and Slayer, and I was pissed because Manson didn't play Beautiful People. I'm like, who do you think you are? You asshole. You put on those fucking stilts and come out here with your big fucking... What does he stand behind, a steep? What the fuck is it?
I don't know.
Podium, whatever it is?
Never seen it.
How dare you rip pages out of a Bible? You don't play Beautiful People. Fuck you, Manson. And it really got under my skin.
Well, it makes sense that on some level, the tour is meant to be a greatest hit kind of thing. There are a lot of artists that sure, original material is great, but I can remember in the stadium rock, like in the Eagles, in that genre of music, going to see those guys, you would get a new song here and there, but you would mostly get greatest hits. Yeah. And then there are other venues where bands like Radiohead, you get a lot more original music, but you still get those staples. And then how did DK put it somewhere? Like you said, how dare you? Who do you think you are?
And let me be clear.
Play the one.
Let me be clear. I'm not a big Radiohead fan. I like Creep and that whatever that other. They have another song. I don't fucking know. Whatever. But Manson, I'm a diehard Manson fan. Fucking loved it. Loved the shit out of him. Not as good as he was back in the day by any fucking means, but dude, his first 3-4 fucking albums, fan-fucking-tastic. Love Manson. So I enjoyed the concert, but for him to leave and not play that, I'm like, that's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Like, go back there and take off your vagina underwear where it looks like you don't have a penis and fucking, ugh.
Paid good money for this. I want to hear the radio cuts.
Now, Slayer, fan-fucking-tastic. Slayer did a great fucking job.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I've never been to a Slayer show. Are they good entertainers?
Yes.
Not just good musicians?
I will say the crowd, dude. I've been to, I don't know, fucking 100, 200 concerts. I've seen damn...
Really?
Yeah, that was always my thing from the time I was 16 till recently. I mean, like, I went and saw Metallica in Georgia in Atlanta last year, but I don't go to near as many as I used to, but I used to go to every fucking concert within anywhere. Me and my buddy, we went to New York and saw Metallica get inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Or not New York, but Cleveland. And went up there and saw him get inducted and shit. It was great, suit and tie, everything. Oh, it was fucking fantastic. And then, but we went to New York and saw him play back-to-back shows at Madison Square Garden. But that's just the kind of, I've been to Bonnaroo and shit, like just a concert junkie back in the day. And
was this the Roaring '20s for you?
Yes, that was so good. It was and that was back whenever bands used to come to Mississippi too, to the Gulf Coast Coliseum, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah,
nobody comes to Mississippi anymore.
Right. Is that fucking Katrina?
That's where I saw my first concert was Pantera.
Really?
The best metal band of all fucking time. Fucking Pantera. I'll say it till I die. Best fucking metal band of all time.
I don't know shit about metal, but I had a Pantera album.
Goddamn right much. You did.
Oh, I don't know.
Phil Anselmo was a fucking dick, but great fucking screamer.
That's awesome, man. I remember my first concert was the Eagles. Hell Freezes Over. First big stadium concert. Which one did you say was your first? 37.
I'm 36. Nice. You start off with the Eagles. Wow.
I got lucky. I had a friend that had an extra ticket, and I got to tag along.
How old were you?
I was in middle school, so I was 12.
Oh wow! See, I didn't go to a concert. I think I was 15 or 16. I saw Pantera in Biloxi.
That was first.
Yeah, it was my first one. It was their 101 Proof tour.
Man,
it was them and Anthrax and Cold Chamber, I think.
Who is Cold Chamber?
Oh, they're not even worth talking about. I don't even know why. I should have just said it was them and Anthrax and some
other guys.
They had that song back in the day. It was like what the fuck was that song? I think it was Big Truck or whatever. It's like Big Truck rolling through my headset. It wasn't that great, but that's all I can think about. Yeah.
So you guys just did concerts around here. You never followed anybody around? Did you ever have a band?
Oh no, we never did that.
Never did that?
No.
I think that requires a special fondness for patchouli and mushrooms. Or something.
And also a lack of a job or something. I can't just manage just living off other people's gratuity, me giving something back. It's like
You've never wanted to sell grilled cheese sandwiches for a living?
We got some fucking van spaghetti, man. Come on over.
Van spaghetti.
I'll trade you for some Dove soap. No.
I've never done it, but I would enjoy the freedom, but I would hate the not showering. I can't. My OCD won't let me be that dirty.
Fuck no.
I can't do it.
Whenever we went to Bonnaroo, it was Metallica and Pearl Jam. And
what year did you go to Bonnaroo? Which Bonnaroo was it?
Was that
early or later?
Bonnaroo. I was earlier. It was probably let's see. My daughter was 1. She's 10. So 09 maybe.
So this was
08,
before
09?
It got crazy.
It was nice. It really was. But the showers, like, we bought one of those, like, portable showers where you fill it up with water and you get under it. But then whenever we got there, like, Garnier Fructis had shower trailers. It was like $7 for a shower. Oh, it was fucking great. Hot water and everything. It was awesome.
That's the way to go.
Yeah.
I always enjoyed smaller venues for that reason. Because being in a sea of people, first off, my claustrophobia.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's the only festival I've ever been to like that where you stay overnight. Like, it's funny because I brought a tent. But you drive your car out there. I just slept in my car with the air conditioner on.
Why not?
Yeah. I was like, this is stupid. Fuck this tent.
I live in America.
Yeah.
There's a gas station right there. We got this. I did that for a while, man. I took off in my minivan. Just threw some sleeping bags in the back and just kind of went on a little mini tour. Did some couch surfing, visited some friends. Loved it. Highly recommend it.
Aren't road trips the greatest, too?
They are. You got any good ones? Good road trip stories?
No, I don't think so. My best ones whenever I went out of town. I mean, we flew like whenever we'd go far away.
Mm-hmm.
Not to sound fucking upright or anything. Like,
we
took airplanes.
But that sounds fun. Where'd you travel?
Business class. Vegas was fun. Me and my buddy went there on a bachelor party.
Cool. Make any money?
There for his bachelor party, huh?
Make any money?
No, it was we had a nice dinner, went and saw Penn and Teller, and called it a night.
Was that when the flights were really cheap? Right after when?
No, that was when did he get married? It was probably 4 years ago, 5 years. That's about 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And like I said, we flew to Cleveland, flew to New York. I will say one fun road trip. I went to Key West with some friends, and that was a pretty killer one. It was me and one of my good friends. She was a girl, and then another couple. We all drove down there, and that was a good party. Key West was fantastic.
Awesome.
Probably just the nicest people ever.
Yeah.
Like, everybody was so cool because it's like just a bunch of older white people that are just not looking for any trouble, and like everybody's got money down there. Like, I remember, like one guy, he bumped my drink and spilled some of it. He goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me buy you another drink." I was like, "Oh, thanks."
Yeah.
You can be in some clubs that'll happen. They're like, "Watch out, motherfuckers!" Like,
right.
But everybody was cool. I mean, and every night's a party night down there. Key West was so peaceful. Only thing that sucked is we went down there in like June, so it was fucking hot.
Woo.
But other than that, it was really nice. I'll say Key West was probably the most pleasant place to vacation. No drama, no nothing.
Nice.
I think we spent like 5 days down there. It was really awesome.
I like that. I think one of the things I noticed when I moved down here, because I moved from Cincinnati, so I went from big city to Perdido Key, which out there.
How'd you end up in Perdido Key from Cincinnati?
I used to work for the Bama, audio engineer.
For the Floribama?
Uh-huh. So
they recruited you from Cincinnati? Were you working at like WKRP?
No, I wish that would have been cool. I knew.
Hey, we heard your jams on the radio there. We sure could use a guy like you down here in Perdido Key.
Thanksgiving's coming up. We got this big turkey drop. It's my favorite episode of all time. My dad introduced me to that. Have you seen it?
Oh, I don't remember it, but yeah.
If you have never, for all of you, if you have never seen the WKRP in Cincinnati Thanksgiving special, oh, it is the most hilarious thing. Every Thanksgiving, look for it on YouTube. The clips make the round, and it's hilarious. I don't want to ruin it for you.
I love that show. That was great.
But I happen to know some musicians down here, and they needed somebody, and I was able to get here, and so I did, and ran sound out there for a while. But one of the things I've noticed about the beach is it's like being in the country, because it's 2-lane roads. Yep. You are not in the middle of town. You are far away from civilization.
There's one gas station that is packed the fuck out all the time.
Right. And you have to be prepared for hurricanes. Yeah. And I think that's the mentality, the compromise that comes with it. It's like, living at the bottom of the mountain. Avalanches are possible. And so you take it in stride. I think. I hope. I don't know.
I think out of everything, living here, I think hurricanes is probably the best thing to deal with, because they're not as bad as tornadoes. They can fuck shit up, but tornadoes really kill people, and they come out of nowhere. In California, you got earthquakes and landslides. You don't see those coming. It just happens.
Right.
And earthquakes cause landslides, so that's rough. And then it freezes like up north, like blizzards and shit. So I would say of all the, if you're going to pick your poison, hurricanes probably, because you see them coming 500 miles away.
Yeah.
And we're not like Louisiana. We're at least up high enough. We're like, we'll ride it out.
Because below the water table, they just didn't think that through. They didn't think that through. But then again,
they're still not thinking it through, Compton.
I know. Exactly.
They're still there.
Historically, they just haven't looked into that. Like I was saying, I love history, so I get in way
There's not much to look into. They figured it out. Hey, you're below sea level.
Right. Water. It rises.
Suck. They're like, we don't worry about it. We got enough crawfish for everybody. I said a model. What do they say? Creme brulee. I don't even fucking know. Whatever.
Laissez le bon temps rouler.
That's what the fuck I was looking for. Thank you.
Good old Mardi Gras.
Purple and gold. And trumpets.
And just a walking jazz band. I forget what they call that, but if I were to be buried, it would definitely be in New Orleans.
Yeah, because they don't bury you.
No, they put you above ground in one of those.
That should have been the first sign that they shouldn't establish a community there. They're like, they bury somebody and then it rains and they float back up. They're like, what the fuck? So then they're like, well, I done built my purple house over here. I'm not moving again. So then they just build these, what are they, what the fuck is it called?
A crypt.
A crypt, yeah, whatever. They have another name for them. It's like
above ground sarcophagus.
Yeah, let's just build a fucking cement square and just stick them in there. All right.
Ridiculousness, absolute ridiculousness.
And then they just walk away. Bop, 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 bop.
Have their little parade. Have their little death parade.
I went, and don't get me wrong, I've had some great times in New Orleans. But one thing I noticed was a problem in Louisiana is whenever I could go, and it wasn't even New Orleans, I went and stayed with one of my friends in Lafayette. And we could go in the gas station at 4 in the morning and buy a bottle of Crown, anything. There's just a liquor store at the Circle K. I'm like, guys, or whenever you could drive, whenever you leave a restaurant, it's like, you want those drinks to go? We're like, yeah. They're like, here, just go ahead and drink and drive. That's fine. What the fuck are y'all thinking?
Nothing good. Nothing good comes of that. Drive-through daiquiri shops, man. It's awesome. New Orleans, well, they stuck with the parishes.
Yeah, they don't have counties. They have parishes.
So they could keep the drinking age at 18. They said, we don't want your federal funding for roads. We want 18-year-olds to be able to drink. And then, have you ever seen Sons of Guns? Anyway, that's not funny then. There was a TV show about a guy that blew things up and had guns in Louisiana. And he was part of the hashtag Me Too movement. On the wrong side of it. Anyway, it wasn't a good drinking thing. He took advantage of people. It was ugly. But what do you think of all that? What do you think of this whole fall of the patriarchy or however you want to put it, this hashtag Me Too movement?
What's the Me Too movement again?
The Harvey Weinstein.
It's the woman's rights thing.
Yeah,
I think it's great, man. I mean, yeah, women shouldn't be fucked with like that. Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
Oh, of course. But I guess I'd be more specific. The social judgment part of it. I love the balancing of the scales and the backlash. What fascinates me about it is how so much of this is being played out in the court of public opinion, as opposed to like real courts. And so, be that good or bad, that's how it's playing out. I think it's part of this evolution that social media has into this real-time thing that we call simulated life or whatever.
Have you noticed, somebody that doesn't get enough credit for it is Trump, because since he became president, women are so much more comfortable speaking out and not putting up with that bullshit anymore. Didn't happen until he became president. Now look at the floodgates have opened. They finally got somebody in office that makes them comfortable enough that know that they can come out and talk about these injustices. Amen.
Have you seen the Trumpy bear?
Comment. Yes. And Joe Rogan shared it.
Yeah.
He was like, we really are living in a Tim and Eric episode.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. It's so funny. But that is true. The Harvey Weinstein thing didn't blow up until after Trump had been elected. And so had the context been different, that whole thing could have played out differently. And it, as horrible as it is, sometimes it takes something really nasty for something good and positive to come out.
Oh, yeah.
So it's...
And Weinstein, what a fat, nasty, just piece of shit. But he was so rich. Like, he was one of those guys that was still living in the era of Mad Men, It's like,
right.
Oh, honey, go in there and make me a sandwich, but do it with your britches off, see? It's like...
So
just
crazy.
So powerful, and he come up just being so powerful. That was just how, like, him. It's people like him and Tom Cruise. Not saying Tom Cruise or anything like that. He's a fucking psycho in his own right. But like, they live in like their own world where they really don't know what's changed around them because they're so really cut off from everybody.
Yeah.
Not defending it, it's still fucked up.
No,
but it's like, are you surprised he still thought that? He doesn't connect with normal people to know that women have rights and voices.
Right. In a way, it's kind of like Munchausen syndrome, where you end up becoming a sycophant of yourself because you're in this isolation yes man bubble, versus these people who end up sympathizing with their captors, and become empathetic to and do what their captors want because they feel sorry for them or some fucked up thing. So that's weird that those two things look that similar, because that's mental illness. Like, there's something is psychologically broken. When you talk about breaking someone psychologically, that's kind of where we're at. And I think that's one of the things that's going to be positive about Trump. I agree with you that it's gotten so bad that people are willing to talk about it. It's nasty, and you see some nasty fights about it, but a lot more people, like Bill Engvall said, here's your sign. And a lot more people are having to wear those signs now, which I think is beneficial, because even if it starts as kind of not happy with each other, at least people are talking. Because when people talk, sooner or later they realize, we're both going to die. Maybe we should be on the same team. Team human.
Yeah.
Fucking somebody's got to stop what's his nuts from putting cars in on Mars.
He's not hurting anybody. Space is big enough. Space is so big. Why don't we just throw our garbage up there? Just put on a rock. I mean, it's
might as well.
Fucking huge.
Might as well.
I mean, there's a lot of space.
Yes. A lot of empty space.
And who cares? I saw this funny meme on Facebook. It was, fucking David Bowie played Tesla in, what was that goddamn magic movie with Wolverine and Batman? The fucking,
Wolverine and Batman. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, The Prestige.
That one. Get over here. If you're going to be here, get over here.
The Prestige.
Fuck, that's what I'm playing on Facebook.
Fucking David Bowie played Tesla in The Prestige.
Yeah, he did.
So it's funny. It's like Bowie playing Tesla playing Bowie. What's up, Thomas?
What up? So y'all were on Facebook.
Hello. What's going on?
Sorry, I ain't trying to crash your episode.
Yes, that's quite all right. It's always amusing. We've just been kind of bouncing all over the place.
Yeah.
So if there's anything you want to chime in on, The Prestige is one of my favorite movies, though, because when what's his nuts cuts his thumb off,
Yeah.
He gets in that accident, and then his brother comes along. And like, spoiler alert, by the way. If you
He
haven't
can
seen it.
regenerate, though. Because he's a Wolverine.
No, that was Batman that did that.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, wrong superhero.
Wrong superhero.
Tesla's the real superhero in the movie, though.
He is. He is. In that creepy basement full of tanks.
It's been like 15 years since I've seen that movie, so I have absolutely no idea what you guys are talking about. But it's talking about tanks and cutting fingers off, so I mean, I'll watch it again.
I'm in. Mm-hmm. Which brings us, since Tony's here, to conspiracy theory. Somebody was telling me about this blue beam thing that you mentioned the other day and blew my mind. Do you do the conspiracy theory stuff at all?
No. Although I do think that, seriously, like 9/11 was an outside job.
How far outside?
Like, not in America. I don't think Americans did it. I don't know. I know there's a lot of controversy about it, but...
Could have just been the Fed. Wanted their money back. Who knows?
That was a shitty joke. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Mine was shittier. What else is fascinating? We can talk 9/11 conspiracy. If my favorite is that the missiles that they flew into the towers had these holographic projectors that made them look like planes. That's my current favorite.
What?
Yeah.
See, I think the government comes up with shit like that, like saying that there weren't even planes, it was holograms,
Right.
man. I think the government creates shit like that. That way, if you think 9/11's bullshit, you get lumped in, oh, let me guess, you think that it
You
wasn't
and Tom
even real
DeLonge.
planes. Yeah. Dude, did you see Tom DeLonge on Joe Rogan?
Yes, I did.
Did you watch that?
No, but I did hear. I heard. I was listening to another podcast with Joe, and he was clowning on him.
Dude, he's
for it.
insane, man.
Yeah, if anyone has been picked to be the disinformation agent for the government, it is Tom DeLonge. Like, he is, it looks like he's being strung along, horse and cart, the whole 9 yards.
Tom DeLonge
Pretty-
being strong
Pretty
along.
fucking hilarious. I like UFOs, though. I want a UFO, just a pet, just for a little while. That was one of my things when I moved to Pensacola. I got really excited because there's a lot of UFO activity down here because of the Naval Air Station, and I was hopeful. Have yet to see anything.
I mean, there's obviously aliens out there. How pompous would we be if we think we're the only life forms that exist? But I gotta say, I don't think they've ever made contact with us, because if they can make it that far to finally reach us, they're so much fucking smarter than we are, and they just... Like, if they discover us first, we're done. Because, I mean,
Right.
that's a long fucking way they'd have to drive.
But there's people who think that, like, it's the way of, like, there's bacteria on this table right now, and is it aware of you? Yet you're, like, so much far beyond it that there could be something here, and we're so stupid that we just don't, that it's like, there's bacteria right there, or an ant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the way I see it, man, if they had made contact with us, I mean, it'd be in the best interest of the universe to kill us, because we're, you know,
Trying to put nuclear weapons in space.
yeah. I mean, we're idiots. We can't even get along. We have nuclear weapons. That's stuff that's powerful enough to like have universal repercussions.
That'd be funny if that Tesla car was the last straw. They're like, that's it!
No, that's more of like a peace offering. It's like, oh, it's a car that uses clean energy. Maybe they're not so bad. I think that's what he's doing. He's trying to be like,
Please don't
no,
kill us.
don't kill us. See, we're not all that. We're working on it.
Take me up to your planet. I'm socially awkward.
Did you see his rebuttal to Trump? Trump tweeted out, congratulations, SpaceX, blah, 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 you know, make America great. And Musk retweeted, I'm from Africa, you dipshit.
Nice.
Really?
I maybe said South Africa. I can't
This will be the first time. This will be the first time this was ever said about a white man. Then he ought to go back to Africa.
I saw something I heard somewhere. It's like, if you believe in evolution, you can go back to Africa.
It's like, get them to build you a rocket ship and send your stupid fucking car into space.
Man, that dude landed 3 different rockets. He launched and landed 3 different rockets on the same day.
Those pictures of those rockets landing, dude, it looks so weird.
It's not
Fucking
real.
showboat.
It's a simulation. That dude's Neo, and he hacked the simulation. Yeah. That's just got to be it.
Yeah, I bet he's got a micro penis for real.
He does. Have you seen his hair plugs? Did you see the pictures of him when he was running PayPal?
Dude, look up any actor or person with any kind of
You made
whatever.
a joke about Steve Carell the first season of The Office. I didn't notice it until he's like, look at Steve Carell's hair in the first season and then look at it in the second whenever he got all the money.
Dude,
his hair's a
if
shitload
you look
bigger.
up any actor, athlete, all of them, dude, look them up, type their name into Google and hair plugs, dude, every single
one of them.
It's just not affordable.
Doing the Carlin thing. I'm doing the Carlin thing. Just wait, it'll fall out.
Because yours has that nice pattern, dude.
No, it doesn't.
Mine in the front, right here.
Not mine. No.
Mine's gonna be the reverse of that.
If it weren't this long, if I didn't have my Trump bun going on, have you seen the back of his head?
Yeah.
That's creepy shit.
I'm doing the RuPaul at the end of the night.
I'm not far behind you, man. I thought about having a
By
couple.
that he means eating a butt. Dude, we got into some rim job talk at the open mic at the what's it called the other night? It was fun.
The Pikachu Shizuko's?
No. At the Olive Drop.
Oh, are you also doing it over there?
Yeah, it's on Thursdays now.
Yes, Olive Drop, Back Porch Comedy.
4 shooters.
Thursday night.
Dude, would it be rude? Can I go piss? I'm about to
No, go ahead.
Okay, great.
Go ahead. Hell, we're not doing anything.
Yeah, sorry to crash y'all's.
Not at all. We just
I
bought
just
him a
was
restaurant
watching
break.
it in my living room. I was like, why don't we just go out there and watch it live, man?
You should.
Yeah.
I
What y'all been talking about? I missed it all because I had to get ready real quick.
all kinds of crazy stuff. It's been kind of all over the place. We were talking about music and just bouncing around until we find something that we really enjoy.
You need to get Kirby to make some very definitive political statements because he'll make them. He doesn't care.
Oh, we were talking about Trump. He made a great statement about how Trump has created this environment where women feel comfortable enough to come out. It was great.
Yeah.
It was a great little bit.
Yeah.
He pulled it off straight faced and all.
Yeah.
Yeah, the conspiracy thing though, like this. I'm glad you showed up because wasn't it you that was telling me about this blue beam?
No, I
Project
was
Blue
telling you
Beam?
about the shadow people thing and the Hat Man.
Right, and
But I may have talked to you about Blue Beam before. That's a real thing.
yeah.
Like, you see any of those projections that people put up, like China did that Cloud City and stuff?
Yeah, what's the story behind that?
Insane. That's just, they're testing Project Bluebeam. Some people tie Project Bluebeam into, like, every conspiracy comes back to Project Bluebeam, like the chemtrails.
Yeah.
They're putting barium and aluminum to use, that's what they use as a reflector.
Yeah,
or
okay.
as the screen, basically, for Project Bluebeam.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, that would go hand in hand with like holographic technology, like when we started coming out with holograms and stuff.
Yeah, there's some scary stuff, dude. There's like these people in a gymnasium, and they can make a whale come to just dive.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Oh, yeah.
That's like blue beam.
That's
like
cool.
That's like these next level projectors and stuff.
And then I think it's China on their basketball courts. They've been doing this for years. Like on that was a call on both ends of the floor, like below the goal. It looks like there's like literally like a triangle, like a billboard standing up, and then you'll see a player. They'll stand on to throw the ball in. It's not even a billboard. But if you saw the Olympics, I mean, they're way smarter than we are anyway. So
That's Korea.
Did you see the Korean, like, the support squad?
I haven't watched any of the Olympics.
Well, these
There's
aren't
this-
the real Olympics. They're the Ice Olympics or something.
There is this whole group, a whole Coliseum stadium section worth of North Korean women called the North Korean Beauties. And their job is to go and be pep rally cheerleaders at all of these events.
Really?
It is the funniest thing I have ever seen. Like, remember the crazy little guitar girls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that is
This,
the
except cheerleaders.
cutest thing ever. Like, call him a dictator if you want. If I was a dictator, I'd be like, give me 6 little Chinese babies.
And this is
Play
North
guitar.
Korea?
Dude, have you seen them?
Oh, are they
Korean
hosting the
kids?
Olympics?
No,
South Korea. Dude, have you seen them little North Korean kids playing guitar? Dude,
Doing
it's
it.
the cutest thing you ever seen in your life, dude.
It's, oh man, like Chucky. One of them could have been Chucky with the right outfit, straight up.
Yeah.
Like doing the whole.
She's a ginger.
And they're wrecking it, dude, because you don't see, but off camera they have guns pointed at their parents' heads. You know what I'm saying? Dude, they're wrecking it though.
Never miss a beat.
No,
Never
they're amazing, and they're like this. They're like, I don't know. They could be full-grown adults because they're so malnourished there, but they look.
The
like
parasites
little
are
children.
such a problem. You know,
I thought South Korea was fine. Isn't it North Korea that's bad?
Yeah,
Korea's
yeah.
there,
Yeah.
The Olympics are in South Korea,
I
but
thought
they
South
invited
Korea
North
was like
Korea.
this lush,
South Korea is like,
non-North Korea nation.
dude. South Korea
It
is crazy advanced. Like technologically, dude. They have professional video game people. Like these kids, people will come play like I don't know Minecraft. I don't know the
StarCraft
game.
is
StarCraft.
huge.
StarCraft. That's the one. They will come play StarCraft at an arena, and there's 50,000 people that come to watch them play.
I used to watch them play StarCraft on YouTube. I'm like, that's how big that was.
I don't know what StarCraft is really. I
It's-
mean, that's like a space, build a spaceship and fight
Yeah.
over spaceships type thing.
It's long and complicated.
I missed that. I
Mine-
was too busy having sex with women.
Exactly. That's,
But
that's
dude,
a much better alternative.
50,000 people coming to play you. Watch you play video.
Well, good for them.
Those guys are
Everybody
ridiculous.
needs to have something.
Everybody.
Good for them.
Good for
Good
them.
for them.
Bless their hearts.
Yeah.
So cute.
So they have pro video game people there.
Going to people being more technologically advanced than us, do you guys realize that Disney World is 10 years ahead of the rest of the United States of America?
How so?
It's fucking nuts. Like, I went to Disney World and, like, we went to this Beauty and the Beast thing, and this armoire, you know that saucy armoire in the cartoon Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah.
She's like, "Brr, I got clothes, bleh."
Yeah.
And she throws out all these brassieres and what have you. Like, you walk in this room and she's talking to you, and you're like, this motherfucking armoire is talking to me. Like, it's fucking amazing how advanced they are and the special effects and just how everything is just so spot on clean, and it's so clean and shrubbery, like all the bushes are in the shape of some jackass Disney character, and it's always trimmed perfectly. So I guess at nighttime, because you never see a yard worker, so I guess at nighttime they're out there trimming it up. First off, cutting grass in the dark is hard as
The
it's hard
woodland
as fuck.
critters come.
Yeah, let alone making a bush look exactly like Mickey Mouse playing volleyball. It's like, that's difficult, and they're doing it at fucking nighttime. And then the fireworks alone. Like, again, I'm not a Disney. I'm never gonna buy a dumb fucking shirt or wear mouse ears or nothing. But I could not have been more impressed by the thought and effort that they put into that place. Spot on, Disney. They did it right.
That's cool. Now let's talk shit about like grown-ups that love Disney.
Oh,
Dude, how about that?
these assholes that get married down there and propose down there. It's like, what are you doing? You're no princess, fatty. What are you talking about?
Dude, when I was at Disney for my nephew's 2-year-old two birthday, whatever it's called, we were down there for his second birthday.
Tuesday.
Yeah. We were down there, dude, and we were staying like in a cabin on Disney property. And dude, there's woodland critters everywhere, dude. There's deer, raccoons. Dude, I never seen more
There's
dead.
alligators.
Yeah. Dude, I saw someone hit a deer on Disney property, dude. Imagine that.
Bambi, real
A
life.
family hit a deer and killed it. Yeah, deer was dead, deader than a hammer.
That's a vacation every family can
Yeah,
remember.
money, no. It's like, well, ugh, dude, people like that are the scum of the earth.
So a little fourth wall for you. You know that Disney was originally planned to be built in Tillman's Corner.
In Mobile?
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
Mobile Bay was Walt's first.
What happened?
home.
Did he finally visit it?
No.
Yeah.
The story goes, and somebody's welcome to correct me if they
Legend
want.
says.
But I'm from Mobile, and this is the story I'm going with. The way I
I
heard.
thought you were from Cincinnati.
No, I grew up in Mobile. I
A
lived
lot of holes in your
Cincinnati.
story.
No, it's just a longer story than you thought. But the aristocracy, Mobile, the people in Mobile said, no, we don't want it. It'll bring too much tourism.
Stupid idiots.
Yeah, the old money in Mobile said, nah.
Wow.
Because they thought it would be bad for
The
rich
old
white
money
people.
in Mobile, like what did they make? You know what I mean? Like who's the
It's
local
gonna mess up
dude?
all Mardi Gras parades.
Big murder. I worked for big gun violence and.
Oh,
But when you think about it, that would have been when Jeff Sessions and those guys were running rampant. So you can imagine, Walt felt right at home down here in the South.
Wasn't he Jewish? Or did he hate Jews? Isn't it like?
Oh yeah, now
I
you say
swear
it's
it.
racist as shit.
I
Yeah.
swear it goes ching chong, ching chong, ching chong, ching. Dude, that shit's racist as fuck.
That's so.
And it's so unupdated. Like whenever you go through the Germany part, they're all still like doing that like animatronically. Like they haven't updated in like 50 years.
That's because Walt wanted to keep it that way.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I say, come on down to Disney World.
My little Third Reich.
All of his Imagineers. Man, the safari thing that they've got down there, I think.
That's the gayest, coolest job name. I'm an Imagineer.
Man.
I'm a dream creator.
Figment, man. That little purple dragon.
Yeah, I
that was
remember
my
that.
favorite part.
Yeah.
That was back when all you had was when Epcot, the ride in Epcot. What was that called? Anybody remember?
The Epcot ride.
Yeah, that one.
Well, then
that one, yeah.
Oh, the
Why don't you travel
Future.
through like time or something?
Yeah.
It shows you that. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to be a
called,
dick.
uh,
I thought it was just called Epcot Center.
It was fun.
No, it's
I was like-
called the
Through world.
new power generation.
Yeah,
something
I
like
think it's called Illuminati Owns You.
Yeah.
Something like that.
No, I know what you're talking about though.
There were a few good ones, like some of the futuristic stuff.
Yeah.
Like how bad they got it wrong with their version of the World's Fair.
Yeah.
Man.
It is
So far
this
off.
comic named Rory Scovel. He's dude, if y'all don't know who that is, you should look it up. He's super duper duper funny.
Yeah.
But he had this bit on one of his albums, and it was talking about how like everyone's idea of what the future was going to be like was bullshit, except for RoboCop. Because he's like, it's the year 2017, 15. And Detroit's a shithole overrun by gangs. He's like, wow, who'd have thought someone got Detroit? He was right on the money. Like,
Militarizing the police.
yeah.
That's hilarious.
RoboCop's the only one that got it right. That's hilarious, man.
That is
But
fucking
dude,
hilarious.
like, what someone needs to do, like, you remember all the like hidden penises and stuff in Disney movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually saw it on Facebook the other day.
And the
Yeah.
Lion King. All over
I
the
want to
place.
know what that was about. I mean, I guess that was like
Just
the
a bunch of
original
guys on
Illuminati.
acid and stuff
No,
being
dude,
funny?
that's the original Illuminati.
I think it was fucking with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like straight up fucking with
Dude,
people.
I can
just
imagine these
remember-
grown ass men sitting around tripping. They have to have something to be
I just
entertained.
remember
entertain
the
themselves.
cover
They
to
were
the Little
Imagineers.
Mermaid was the biggest one. That like there was
The
just
penis
a
in the
penis
castle?
on the cover of the Little
Yeah.
Mermaid.
I think those were probably artists. They were aliens that showed up and didn't care about ethics. They were like, "Fuck it, we're gonna go in here and we're gonna infiltrate. And we're just gonna put penises on Disney movies.
I mean,
and that's gonna be how we corrupt."
That's a me move. No, but I'm sure there's
That was
hidden.
their ET move.
There's got to be hidden dicks at
And then
Disney
Fight
World.
Club did it.
Fight Club did it.
There have to be hidden penises all over Disney World, right?
I don't know.
I mean,
I've
it's
never
part of their
looked.
business practices.
Well, maybe that's why they've got elevators.
That's
there.
why all
always-
them grown-ups like going there.
I always thought that women, or whenever they're little girls and shit, they're like, whenever I grow up, I'm going to be a princess.
Ooh,
And then they
God.
make it like to Disney World. They're like, I'm a princess now, and they're just working long hours, and they just fucking hate it, you know? Like, come on, 10 minutes, princess. It's like, oh,
Get your
fuck.
princess outfit on.
Jesus. And then it only lasts for so long. They're like, hey, crow's feet, you're fucking fired.
You Jew bitch!
You age out after like 6 months.
Like, hey, Jasmine, get on your magic carpet and take your old ass out of here.
Nobody's a princess forever.
Now we want you to play Beast.
You get one princess wedding,
Yeah.
and then you're beast.
The one girl that does the best gets to be the fairy godmother. It's like, all right, you get to stick around.
You're Ursula. You'd be the Little Mermaid's dad.
God damn, I could rag on Disney
Hey,
movies.
fatty,
all day
how do you
long.
feel about wearing an octopus costume?
We used to rag on Disney cartoons just in communications classes. We would
Yeah.
sit around and just try to analyze the storyline or different parts of the storyline. And if you go back and watch Dumbo, Holy shit!
What's it about?
The racism in Dumbo is so rampant.
The crows and shit.
The crows.
Dude, what about that song of the South? Yeah, everybody just wants to forget
By
that
Alabama?
movie. No. Yeah. Sweet potato pie, maybe touch myself. You know that song?
Yeah.
That's what I always
Bottom
say.
washing machine and in a memory.
Song of the South. Sweet potato pie, make me touch myself.
I want to say David Allan Coe, even though I know it's not, but that dude was ultra racist too.
Yeah, it was David Allan
Yes, he
Coe.
was.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. The stars align.
He'll be at Vinyl probably.
He actually will. He's gonna be.
Whenever
town.
you said that, like I know he's doing a show down here.
He comes like once a year.
Yeah, he's gonna be in town.
Because he's old, he don't fucking much.
Dude, have y'all seen Charlie Daniels has been tweeting about the Illuminati?
I saw you share that to Matt.
no.
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw his face somewhere recently, but what is Charlie
Taco
Daniels
Bell
think?
did a commercial that was like tongue in cheek, joking about Illuminati, Taco Bell,
Yeah.
and he was tweeting at him like the Illuminati ain't nothing to be played with.
Oh, good.
This is serious stuff. So, hopefully
No, it's not.
we'll get a,
Unless it is, do you think the Illuminati's real?
No.
Not at all.
I hope it is, but I don't think it is. Who cares?
Who cares? Well,
I don't think it is.
you don't think they're the Masons? I don't know.
Now, the Masons are real, I've heard.
Yeah. That's what I've heard.
I want one of those rings.
I love their
Those
little...
World Series rings they wear.
Yeah, you can get what you want on YouTube. Or on YouTube, on eBay.
Dude, you have an Illuminati ring?
No, you can get them on eBay though. I look up stuff like that. I think the the Masonic thing, those 33rd degree Masons are on some other stuff. And I think like the normal that's like your peepaw, who's a Mason.
They're so powerful. I have no idea what they do. I used to have a guy that worked for me. He was a Mason. And I was like, "What do you guys do?" He goes, "That's nothing." I was like, "Tell me one thing y'all do." He goes, "That's nothing, man." I'm like, "What the fuck are you hiding?"
Hey, if they won't tell you anything, they're doing some sinister shit, man.
He ain't nothing unless he's a 33rd degree Mason. The
Well,
rest
you
of
gotta
them are
start
like door
somewhere.
greeters at Walmart. You know what I mean? They're the nice face on the Masons. They do charity work to make it seem like a nice organization. They're the old man welcomes you into Walmart, and then
They ride the little
evil
cars
son of
around in the
bitches in
parade.
the
Well,
back.
wouldn't
Oh,
you
wait,
want
that's
to know
fine.
very well the people you were going to put on a mask and rub penises with? I mean, I would want those people to be around for a long, long time. So you would want them to be a 33rd degree, been here a minute. You wouldn't want the newbies back there in the
Penis rubber.
sacred orgy, whatever. Like, eyes wide shut.
It's for licking my butt. No. I don't know what they do.
Well, it can't be much different than a fraternity,
That's hard to
right?
say.
It's got to be about the same as the fraternity. Same deal. So who's hazing who?
It's just a frat that nobody ever leaves unless they die. Then they bury him in a mason jar. Or put the
Why is it
ashes
called
in a
a
mason
mason
jar
jar?
and fucked it up.
Why is
I
it?
bet they fucking invented it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't think of why it's called a mason jar.
It's Masonic.
They used to give you those at Po Folks right out of.
Yeah. I've been thinking about Po Folks. I'd like to go there.
That shit's good.
It's around the corner from your house.
They have the best red beans and rice. Damn right it is. I call them dishes all the time.
Where is
Terrible
there-
hold music, but delicious food.
Yeah.
Where is there a Po Folks around here? come
Right
on.
beside
Your
Richie's Liquor Store on 9th and Creighton.
TDS Comics.
It used to be by Sacred Heart Hospital, and then they bought the land and put up that stupid fucking ice cream place. Their red beans and rice suck. But fucking Po Folks, they reopened down at 9th and Creighton.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that name in a
They still
long
spell everything
time.
wrong on their menu, and it is adorable.
It's adorable.
Po Folk.
That's awesome.
You got a Po Folks?
That's awesome. So who do you guys like in the Mueller versus Trump case? What do you think? Is he gonna testify before Mueller?
I don't know what that is.
Mueller's the guy doing the Russia investigation for the FBI, and Trump is the person who's claiming to be president right now.
I don't think it's gonna matter.
You don't think it's going to matter if he
Nah.
claims to be president or not?
If Trump claims, well, Trump is president. Oh, I don't fucking know.
I
You
don't
don't-
think that
you don't
Russia
think it'll
was
come down?
involved in the election at all.
Yeah,
I wish it would.
I don't think that Russia was involved in it
No.
anymore. No. I think that that Seth Rich kid is dead.
Seth, I'm not familiar with that part of the
Just look
story.
that up, dude. That
Fuck
Donna
yeah.
Brazil lady all but said it in her new book.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I do remember that
She was
story.
scared when Seth Rich got murdered.
Yeah.
It scared the shit out of her. She said it. She was the Democratic leader of the Democratic Party.
Yeah. And because she came out after Hillary fucked up the whole DNC process. They threw Bernie under the bus. I remember.
And then
that.
WikiLeaks, they offered a $20,000 reward for any information that led to Seth Rich's murder.
Yeah.
Like, that kid gave those emails to WikiLeaks, and they found out about it and killed him. Russia didn't have shit to do with any of it. That's a smokescreen. Russia is bullshit. That's why it's been over a year and nothing's happened. They're trying to make that bullshit the whole time Trump's in there. Like, fucking, the Democratic Party fucked up. They let Hillary Clinton screw over Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders would have mopped the floor with Donald Trump. Like, I'm sorry that they made a bad move, but that's how much people hated Hillary Clinton. They were willing to roll the dice on the apocalypse and vote for a reality TV star rather than vote for that woman.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. Bernie Sanders, you shouldn't have let her own the whole party,
Yeah.
Like, and she doesn't like that. That pisses her off. That the truth. Facts hurt feelings sometimes, and so they made up that whole Russia thing. It's total bullshit. If anything, she had more collusion with that one thing
With the dossier, the Russian dossier.
She was colluding with Russia more than anybody else was.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, people hate Hillary Clinton. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think you're right.
If it was her husband, and that's the thing, her husband's as crooked as her. But
He's so likable.
Right.
I know. He plays that saxophone so smooth.
Yeah, he could have won. He could have beat Donald Trump again if he could have run again, and he's just as crooked as she is. People just don't like her. Get over it, and don't put someone that, you know what I'm saying. You don't. Nobody owes you shit, especially in politics. I don't care if you've been a servant of the public. A servant of herself is what she really is. But a servant of the public your whole life. People don't owe you the most powerful job in the world. Like, people got to want to give that to you. And people don't even have to want to give it to you. They can just want to not give it to you. Then you get a reality TV star who's president.
I'm just surprised to hear you say that the people have any say in giving the presidency to anybody.
I think that this is one time. I don't believe that. I don't believe in voting, personally. I think that it's a rigged system. And I honestly think this is one time in history where they thought they didn't have to rig it.
Yeah.
And it bit him in the ass.
And now Donald Trump's
They were
president.
shocked when everyone, and it was so fucking funny.
I think that they thought that it was a hole-in-one, and they didn't need to rig it for the first time ever. And I guess they should have, because,
I'm right there with you. I think the machine that was designed to get Hillary Clinton elected failed. And it failed somewhere around Bernie Sanders. And that train wrecked slowly until Trump was awarded, was claimed the victor. But I wonder now, with his bankruptcy and his financial situations, and then the way that his father came to power through the Rothschilds and through loans through the Rothschilds, I wonder who he's beholden to. Because he doesn't have much in the way of his own fortune when compared to some of those other cats that are pulling strings. And so I wonder if plan A was the machine was supposed to work, and plan B was we know we can control this yahoo because we've got him under a financial thumb. And I think that's where Russia may be hairy, is because a lot of the money is going through the Russia side. And that's what they're trying to keep covered up.
I don't know. I don't have enough facts to agree with that.
I think,
but again, maybe I can't speak on that.
Well, I would say that Russia.
Just my guess on that.
There's nothing there when it comes to Russia, or else we'd have known about it. He'd be in handcuffs because there's more people that hate him than like him.
Yeah.
And if there was anything at all to that story, he wouldn't be president.
Well, it kind of is. You've been talking about it for a year. There must not be anything there. That seems to be true, that they've been talking about it for so long.
Yeah, that it's just a bullshit story to try to tie things up so he can't either do too much damage or do whatever. But the bottom line is this, if you look, all the presidents are related except for William Howard Taft. That is a fucking fact.
The Blue Bloods.
They're all related to this dude named King John Lackland who signed the Magna Carta. Now this is this ain't conspiracy stuff. Every single president except for William Howard Taft. All of them.
Even
related.
Abraham Lincoln?
All of them. Barack Obama's like third cousins with Dick Cheney and George W. Bush. Like, dude, they are all related. It's crazy. And Trump is related to him. And Hillary and Bush, Jeb Bush.
Well, I think we're all related because we're all Americans.
Well, yeah. Not Obama. He was born in Kenya, bro. But no. But here's the thing, dude. The one thing I think. So you asked, what is Donald Trump beholden to? Potentially that. But I think that the one thing that Donald Trump is beholden to is his ego. You know? And that's the only thing I would say positive about him is, at the bottom line, this whole thing is so he can have the ultimate rich guy item. And that is to have your face on money. Think about every cartoon rich guy handing you money with his face on it.
Right.
He wants his face on money. Now, the only way to do that is to be like, oh, you got to be an amazing president to do that. So hopefully, maybe, I don't know, there'll be some economic boom that, who knows? I don't know, that's bigger than when the Industrial Revolution. Who knows? Hopefully, he will figure out a way to be a good enough president to get his face on money, hopefully. And if not, I mean, worst case scenario, the world ends. Either way, I mean, I'm cool. I'm good either way, dude.
I wonder if there's any way for any president to be a good president right now.
No.
Like, with the state of things and with how much control corporations have in Washington. Even a good president, like even Barack Obama, who, and this kind of came up on the show, but even when we were talking earlier about Joey's show and war, when we were talking about Barack Obama, who even he dropped tens of thousands of bombs as a president. So from a war standpoint, we may not have been putting boots on the ground, but we were still dropping dollars in the form of explosions. So that status quo seems to just keep marching on.
Well, he killed Bin Laden, though, so.
Somebody did.
Here's the thing. In any job,
Or did they?
Right?
that's the only job where you can never do a good job. Okay? Any job, you can be undeniable. Everybody in Pensacola could hate my guts, but if I go on stage tonight and crush undeniably, you're a good stand-up comic. If your sales numbers are great, you're a great, you've taught all your employees to be good employees. You're a great manager.
I think
if
a call repo guy can never do a good job either. He's always criticized.
It's the same way. But, like, here's the thing, dude. If a president, and let's say it was anybody. Let's say it's not Trump. It's not whoever. Let's say it's Jim Johnson comes. Mm-hmm. Everybody likes him. He, in his first year in office, he creates world peace. Then you're going to have 50% of the world's population be like, it's Antichrist. He's the Antichrist.
Yeah.
We've known about this for 2,000 years. He's the Antichrist, a Prince of Peace. Give me a break.
We've known it's coming.
You can't do a good job, dude. You can't. So that him wanting to have his face on money is a pipe dream, but please try. Please try.
Please.
I don't know. I don't know what you could do. I mean, and that's the thing, dude. What could he do at this point to where people who hate him like him? Nothing. That's why he doesn't give a shit what anyone thinks. And that's bad. That's bad for him, and that's bad for the people that hate him. True. It's everybody on both sides. He needs to try and extend an olive branch, and the people who hate him need to try and extend an olive branch and try to, But now it's like, if you even like, and I want to say that's what's best for the country, but now it's so upside down. Like, if you want what's best for the country, racist.
Right.
Like, everything's so upside down, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're in the upside down, dude. We really are, though. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you took some, and it doesn't even have to be, if you took some dude from the 1950s who was an alcoholic and beat the shit out of his wife, I'm talking about the scum of the earth back then, and brought him here now.
Trump's dad.
Whatever. If you brought them here now,
there's a documentary about it.
They shit their pants. They shit their pants on the way the world is now. I'm not saying if you brought my dear dead grandmother who was alive many years ago was just the sweetest lady, and you brought her now, she'd be spinning her grave if she saw the world now.
Yeah.
Not that. If you brought a piece of shit from the 1950s here, they'd be spinning in their grave here now. You know?
Yeah, it's impossible to wrap your head around.
It's
from that
too far gone. And that's why when I always say, world can end, I mean it, dude.
So what do you think of that?
I don't have kids and stuff, so it's different, you know.
What do you think of the conventions of the states then?
What do you mean?
We're 34 states already. We need 35, which would draw a convention of the states, which would basically seize power from the federal government, and the states could do as they will. Which would mean we could shut down the federal government, and the states could redraw the Constitution and rebuild the government from the ground up.
Seems like a lot of legwork.
Seems like a lot of work.
As long as my paycheck stays the same and nothing gets messed up with roads and stuff, whatever. It's like, you know, I said this earlier, it's like we keep burning through presidents. Nothing's fucking changed in my life. I don't know. Just keep on. Fucking go to work. Don't burn anything down. Don't fucking kill anybody. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
And the thing is, dude, we're just at the age of bitching.
Yes.
Like, everybody's just always bitching and whining and complaining about everything. And I don't mean the president. I mean about literally anything you can think of.
My coffee's too hot.
Yeah, just everything, dude. And any of these people who got their way, they still wouldn't be any happier.
Nope.
Right, that's the nature. That's the human condition.
Right, and people just need to learn that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All the people who like Trump in 4 years will hate the next president, and they'll be happy, and then their lives won't change, and it's going to go back and forth.
And then you got all
back
these,
forth.
and then you got all these overweight people at Walmart that ride around in those motorized cars whenever they could walk. Like, those cars are for people that can't walk, but they use because they're fucking lazy, and that's the only exercise that they're going to get that week anyways, buying their groceries, and they just ride around on it. They only have so many of them.
They got to share.
Get up. Like, you got a buggy you can lean on.
Next thing you know, they're going to be walking around with
Get some air on your bed sores.
It's not like you have to walk around with bags and carry all your groceries around like you're going inside with them. God. And the front basket's not even big as a normal buggy. It's fucking stupid. Go ahead.
Well, without that basket, where are people going to put their guns and ammunition while they're shopping?
And they're fat rolls, dummy. I keep my gun in my pussy, personally.
Take that hot dog out of your holster. Man, I'm out of drink.
Damn. Well, I guess it's about that time. Do we need to plug anything? Is there anything you have coming up that you want to plug? Talk to anybody about?
I'm doing Friday night. I'll be at the back porch. It's veterans and bikers, right? Yeah, we're doing a veterans biker show down there.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot they're going to be in town. Should be fun. That's starts at 9:30?
9:30.
At the back porch.
Should be a hoot.
Friday night, followed at 11:20-ish by the Rated R comedy show with
And
Mr.
if you
Ryan
bring
Pfeiffer.
canned food, you get it free.
Is that for the veteran thing?
No, they always do that.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Who does that?
That's a lie. You get it free anyway. I'm just saying if you bring canned
Bring
food,
canned
you get it
food.
free.
Kirby's just hungry. Sorry. I can't think of anything else we need to
But
plug.
not those double stuffed raviolis. That's fucking nasty.
What is it?
Double stuffed raviolis? Like, you would think double the meat. Oh, this is going to be great.
No.
It is not.
No.
Who makes that?
Turns out that Chef Boyardee.
I prefer mini ravioli.
Dude,
Yes,
do you
those are good, yes.
Do you remember, this started probably 5 years ago with the commercial where it's Chef Boyardee living in Italy. It's like shows his life. The commercial is like, and he goes, Chef Boyardee. They were like, Chef Boyardee. And it's like, nah, it's too long. You can't change your name now. It's Chef Boyardee. Not Chef Boyardee. Boyardee. It's like, no one's going to be like, I want to go into the store and just be like, excuse me, where is your Chef Boyardee? You know? Oh, that stuff's... Ugh.
Do you think Mario Batali did that when he got on television?
Hang on, dude. The Mario Batali, you know who that is?
Nope.
That's the guy that looks like
Chef Boyardee.
a shaved lion.
What?
He looks like lion-esque. I don't know. He looks like an animal.
Maybe
Anyway,
an overweight Chitara.
He got in trouble for sexually. He got in trouble for the whole sexual something, whenever it was all going on.
Yeah,
Every day it was like a new. You're like, who's next?
Right. Who's today?
Like, he got in trouble for that, so he released an apology.
He pulled out his linguini.
He pulled he wrote an apology letter to the media, and it had a recipe for like biscuits in it or something. That's true. It was for something. It was like
salty
a
biscuits.
Recipe for biscuits and gravy. Or
Can you imagine if What's Her Nuts had the lady from Georgia, if she had released when all that racism accusation was going around an apology with a recipe for fried chicken?
Yeah.
Like,
Hey y'all! Have you ever seen a thing about like Katy Perry and Paula Deen look alike?
Paula Deen, that was her name, yeah.
Have you ever seen that?
No.
They're like, she's like old Katy Perry, dude.
That's so sad.
Seriously, looks exactly like. You gotta look the picture up. It's crazy. Look that up.
So
Internet.
sad for Katy Perry.
Paula Deen and Katy Perry. And there was another conspiracy online for a while saying that John Benet Ramsey grew up to be Katy Perry. It's always something,
Hey.
That's what you wanted to name your daughter, wasn't it?
No.
Jean Benet? Oh, okay.
No.
That was just a joke.
If I don't remember ever saying that.
Plausible deniability.
No.
Have no knowledge.
No.
That must have been somebody else with children. It was not this guy.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I feel like we've barely gotten started, and I feel like we're forgetting to plug something. Oh, yeah, Thursday nights here in Pensacola at the Olive Drop on Barrancas.
8 p.m.
Yes.
Then head on over to Shooters at 10:30 for open mic there. That's 2 mics in one night.
That's fucking awesome.
Pensacola, we're doing it.
Woohoo! Pensacola comedy scene. I can't think of anything else.
Man, I'm sorry for, breaking in on your
No, that's all right. That just means I'm gonna
showcast.
You're
plug.
one of my best good friends. We were talking about you at the beginning of the I'm trying to shake your hand. We were talking at the beginning of the
We are. That's actually where we began, so it's very appropriate
That's
that
how
you
you
showed
got me
up.
into comedy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So
Somehow
You're like my dad.
Yeah.
you're like my comedy
Only
dad.
because you fucked my
This
mom.
guy makes a good bologna sandwich, man. That's the best sandwich I ever had. Fried bologna sandwich. I'll never forget that. It was like 5 a.m.
How drunk were you?
Whew.
Moderate.
Good enough to think a bologna
I
sandwich
was
was
up there.
fried well.
Yeah.
The key is you cut a X in the middle so it cooks evenly and it drops down because you don't want the steam building up under it. You get that burnt ring around.
Right. Good man. Goddamn.
And
I
you
never
keep it on
thought it
7.
through.
Don't ever go to 10.
Don't ever go to 10.
Told
I
you, man.
remember
He
that.
knows what he's doing.
He is.
y'all!
He is good.
He, as a matter of fact, you probably should make an apology letter to some woman out there, probably. You ought to just put the recipe for it at the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, truth, love, and peace.
Bye, y'all.